This was supposed to be the biggest cybersecurity deal in history, a $32 billion acquisition that would have reshaped Google's place in the security industry forever. Google was ready to buy Wiz, a cloud security darling that had become the Silicon Valley talk of the town. But now, the deal's dead, and the way it collapsed tells you everything about how tech giants operate under pressure, how regulators flex their power, and how fragile even the biggest deals can be when the winds of politics, competition, and timing shift. Welcome to DealMaker Diaries. Today, we're dissecting how the biggest cybersecurity deal of all time fell apart, and what that says about the future of big tech M&A. Let's rewind. Wiz isn't just another startup. It was founded in 2020 by Asaf Rappaport, Amy Lutwak, Yinan Kostica, and Roy Resnick, the same team that built Microsoft's cloud security engine before striking out on their own. Their idea was simple: give companies visibility and control over every single asset in the cloud, every server, database, or container that could be hacked. It worked. Wiz grew faster than almost any cybersecurity startup in history. Within 4 years, it had over 40% of the Fortune 500 as customers, raised billions in funding, and reached a valuation of $12 billion by 2024. And that's when Google came knocking. Thomas Kurian, the man behind Google Cloud's turnaround, saw Wiz as the missing piece, a chance to leapfrog Microsoft Azure and Amazon AWS in the cloud security race. So, when negotiations began in 2024, Google was ready to pay big $32 billion. It would have been Google's largest acquisition since buying Motorola Mobility back in 2012. Behind closed doors, the deal was fast-tracked. Google wanted it done before the next earnings cycle. Wiz's board, thrilled but cautious, saw a once-in-a-lifetime exit. But here's where things got complicated. First, there was the price. Wiz's last valuation was $12 billion. Google was offering almost 3 times that. Even in Silicon Valley, that raised eyebrows. Was Google overpaying just to catch up in cybersecurity? Then came the regulators. In Washington, D.C. and Brussels, alarm bells rang. Another massive acquisition by one of the world's biggest tech firms, in a sensitive industry like cybersecurity, set off antitrust concerns. The Federal Trade Commission and the European Commission both hinted at extended reviews. Translation: delays, paperwork, uncertainty. Meanwhile, inside Wiz's headquarters in Tel Aviv, cracks started to appear. Rappaport and his co-founders had built Wiz around speed and independence. They feared becoming just another division buried inside Google's bureaucracy. Several insiders leaked that morale dipped sharply as acquisition talks dragged on. Google, for its part, was getting frustrated. Regulators were probing, costs were climbing, and key Wiz executives reportedly wanted out before the ink was dry. By late September 2025, the pressure was unbearable. Sources close to the deal said Wiz's leadership started exploring an IPO alternative, a bold move while the acquisition was still under review. The founders believed they could go public at a $20 billion valuation and keep control of their destiny. At the same time, Google faced mounting scrutiny from multiple fronts: its Gemini AI project, DOJ antitrust lawsuits, and competition in AI chips. The optics of a $32 billion cybersecurity acquisition amid government lawsuits were problematic. Behind the scenes, lawyers began drafting mutual termination clauses. That's corporate speak for "we're both backing away before this becomes messy." Then, quietly, it happened. In early October 2025, both sides issued statements. The acquisition had been called off. No fireworks, no lawsuits, just a short press release confirming what insiders already knew: the biggest cybersecurity deal in history had collapsed under its own weight. So what happens next? For Google, the failed Wiz deal is a major setback, but not a fatal one. The company still has Chronicle, VirusTotal, and Mandiant under its umbrella, forming a powerful internal security arm. For Wiz, the collapse could actually be the best thing that ever happened to it. Its brand just skyrocketed. The company now sits in the global spotlight, and potential investors are lining up for its IPO. Deal failures often teach more than deal successes. They reveal the tension between innovation and control, between founders and acquirers, and between ambition and regulation. In many ways, Wiz's independence may be its greatest asset, and Google's restraint may prove wise in hindsight, saving billions and avoiding yet another regulatory showdown. Every dealmaker knows, sometimes the ones that get away leave the biggest mark. The $32 billion Wiz deal will be remembered not for what it accomplished, but for what it exposed. That even trillion-dollar tech giants can't buy their way out of competition. That regulation is now a weapon in the modern business battlefield. And that startups, when confident enough, can stare down Goliath and walk away. Because in the world of high-stakes M&A, failure isn't final, it's feedback. If you enjoyed this breakdown of how the Google Wiz deal came undone, make sure you hit that like button, it helps the channel grow. What do you think? Did Wiz make the right call walking away? Or did Google dodge a bullet? Let me know in the comments. This is DealMaker Diaries, where we uncover the stories behind the biggest deals, and the ones that never happened.